my name is Dawn Hutchins with VegeCooking, and I am so excited you guys are here. We are doing a back to school meal prep class. So we've got a bunch of really fun recipes we're going to do in kind of a short amount of time. So this is going to make 2 days worth of breakfast. So we're going to do overnight oats 2 ways. And if you guys really like these, you can double the recipe and then you'll have 4 days. So you'll see how easy this is. Then we're going to make a snack of chocolate chip energy bites that you can enjoy all week. And in fact, you can freeze these. And oh, we got somebody coming in. And so you can freeze the chocolate chip energy bites and they are delicious out of the freezer. And then for lunch, we're going to be making some Mediterranean pinwheel sandwiches. So we're going to make enough for 4 days. So let's talk about, before we get started, I've got a little bit of noise in the background there, so I apologize for that. We're going to make sure our hair is pulled back. And if we have long sleeves, we get our long sleeves pulled up. Let's make sure we've washed our hands properly. So that means 20 seconds of hand washing. And then if we end up having any leftover stuff, I like to have a compost bucket on hand, and then we compost all of our veggie scraps. But it's nice to have a little bucket if you're doing any chopping, and then you can put all of that in a bucket, so that way you're not kind of running all around the kitchen. So I say, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the overnight oats 2 ways. So what we're going to do first is get our fruits prepared. So let's go ahead and get a banana, and we're going to get our strawberries chopped, okay? So what we're going to do is peel our banana, and I find it actually easier to peel from this side. So we're going to peel from this side, and I'm going to put this right in my compost bucket. And let's start by chopping our banana. So there we go. I've got my beautiful strawberries here and my bananas here. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are ready to move on to the next thing. You ready to move on to the next thing? Good, good. Okay. We are going to, I know we've got one group that's still working a little bit, so we'll go slow, you guys. Let's go ahead and get our 2 mason jars. Let's go ahead and get our oatmeal out. And we're going to need a 1/2 cup in each jar. Next, what we're going to do is add a tablespoon of chia seeds in each jar. So we're doing the dry first, like that. And now is the time when you're going to want to mix your chia seeds and your oats together, so your chia seeds don't make a big clump in one spot. Because once your chia seeds get wet, they're going to want to all stick together. And that way, this way you'll avoid getting a big clump all together. All right. We're going to make the banana and the strawberry one first. So we're going to take 1/2 of the banana and 1/2 in each one. Next, so we've got 1/2 a banana in each one. Now we're only going to put strawberries in one of them. That looks so pretty. Love it. This is ready to go. we're going to go ahead and add our 1 tablespoon of maple syrup to the strawberry one. Now we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of oat milk. Now we're going to put the top on like so, and we're going to shake him up to get everything kind of mixed together. And this is now going to go in the refrigerator overnight and be ready for breakfast. Give me a thumbs up if you are ready to move on to our peanut butter chocolate chip. Katie's ready. Good, good. Let's move on to our peanut butter chocolate chip. Now, if you are allergic to peanut butter, that's okay. We're going to be needing peanut butter. We're going to need, oh wait, we already did our chia seeds. We're going to need our chocolate chips. And we're going to need the maple syrup again. And our oat milk. So let's put this guy aside. And, oh, I'm missing, okay, I'm using almond butter because Gabby, my daughter, is allergic to peanut butter, but you can use any kind of nut butter. You can use tahini, which is a sesame seed paste. You can use sunflower seed butter. So what we're going to do is mix our bananas in. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the nut butter or sun butter or whatever you have. So I've mixed in the bananas. Now what I'm going to do is I need 2 tablespoons of your nut butter. So I'm going to go in, but Gabby kind of likes it dropped into little bites of it. So I add a little bit and then I kind of mix it in, and then I add a little bit and mix it in. We are ready to add our, we didn't add our maple syrup yet. So we got to add our maple syrup. So we're adding 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. We almost forgot about that. So I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of oat milk or whatever milk you're using. And so now this doesn't look as full, but all of those oats are going to puff up as they absorb the milk. So now what we're going to do is shake this up. Make sure it's really well incorporated and all those chia seeds are evenly dispersed. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Usually these do not make it to breakfast. Usually we end up eating them in an hour or so because they are so tasty. So those are really going to get puffed up. So here's what they look like. And you guys have 2 days of breakfast done, and it would be so easy to make more of those. So let's go ahead and get started on our next recipe. Let me make sure everybody is ready to go. Are you guys ready to make the snack recipe? This is going to be fun. Good. All right, let's do this. This is one of my all-time favorite recipes. It is awesome. You're going to need a bowl. I would get a pretty big bowl just so that way as you're mixing stuff, it doesn't fly all around everywhere. And I'm switching to the next. You guys are going to get all these recipes. The first thing we're going to need, so again, we're using some of the same ingredients we used before. And that's what's kind of cool about this meal prep is you're not having to buy, I mean, we had to buy a goodly amount of ingredients, but think about how many meals we're getting out of this. So we're doing 2 cups of oats. Oats have a lot of fiber. Oats are a whole grain. And a whole grain means that it has the germ, the bran, and the endosperm. Oh, I just did one. I need to do two. So a whole grain is really good for you. When you guys see stuff that is not a whole grain, like processed crackers or things like that, those are typically just one part of the grain called the endosperm. So that means the bran and the germ have been removed, and that's where all the nutrition is. So we've got 2 cups in here of rolled oats, whole grains, but so tasty. And next, we're gonna need a cup of some kind of nut butter. Now we need 2/3 a cup of maple syrup. So again, we're using the same ingredients we used earlier. We're gonna mix this up a little bit and then we'll add our next ingredient. You don't have to go crazy with mixing it up. Now we're gonna need a cup of shredded unsweet coconut. We've got our 1 cup of shredded unsweet coconut. Give that a tiny mix. And then we're going to be adding our chia seed. The chia seed is really what is going to make this all stick together. And when we're ready to roll some of these, if it seems like it's still kind of a little bit wet, the chia seeds need a little time to thicken up. So what we'll do is, if it seems like it's too thin, we'll let those sit in the refrigerator a little bit to thicken up, and then they'll be ready to go. All right, what did I do with my chia seeds? Here they are. We need 1/2 cup of chia. Now we're going to add 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So we just added our 3 teaspoons of vanilla, and we're about to add our chocolate chips. So we're going to add a cup of chocolate chips. So these are going to be yummy and chocolate.
Put them in there.
Oh, let me put you guys on mute. There we go. All right, 1 cup of chocolate chips. Yum. All right, we're about ready to add just a little bit of salt. And the reason I don't say, I know it drives people crazy when we don't give an exact measurement of salt, which when I first started cooking, it kind of drove me crazy. But the reason I do that is because there are a lot of people that have different sensitivities to salt. So I'm going to start with about 1/4 of a teaspoon. All right. Now, see how much we have here? This is why we used a big bowl. So I've got this big container because I'm going to need a lot of room to put all these. So you really can make these in any size you want. Your hands might get a little messy while you're doing this, you guys. And if they're too sticky right now, you may want to put them in the fridge. But that's about what they're going to look like. All right, what I'm going to do is rinse off my hands, and then I'm going to put this in the fridge, and we're going to move on to our next recipe. All right, we're going to get our tomato, get your cucumber, and your pepper. So you need your tomato, your cucumber, and your pepper. And oh, and these overnight oats too. Can those fit in there? I know you've got it rough. Okay. Okay. So let's get started. We're going to chop up our veggies, and we got our spinach. And you also are going to need some olives if you like olives. Some people do not like olives, and that's okay. And also get your tortillas ready and your hummus. So that's all the stuff we're going to need for our Mediterranean wraps. And you may want to get some salt and pepper together. It's up to you. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to chop up our pepper first, okay? Now what we're going to do is, woo, I just heard a really loud thunder. I'm going to cut really thin. Can you guys hear that thunder? It is really loud here. Oh my gosh. I'm going to cut really thin slices of cucumber. We're going to cut our tomato like we cut the pepper. So we're going to cut small pieces like that, a dice. Now we're going to slice up some olives. Now get a container ready, your lunch container, whatever you're going to put your finished creation in. Lay out your first tortilla. Okay. Lay out that first tortilla. You need your hummus. Okay. I made my own hummus today, which is super easy. We can do that in another class. And we're going to put about 2 tablespoons on one end and sort of spread that out a bit because we're going to be rolling it. So I put it on the side closest to me. Okay. All right. And I got these organic whole wheat tortillas. They have 2 grams of fiber. So I am a fiber fanatic. I'm always looking at the fiber content. Now we're going to do a little, let's start with the spinach, you guys. So we're going to do some spinach and evenly lay that over. And we're going to add some tomato. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Some tomato. So I've got my tomato, and then I have my spinach and the hummus. Then I'm going to add some peppers on top there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Does not have to be perfect. And some of our thinly sliced cucumber. And then if you have any left over, you can always put it on a salad. And then I'm going to evenly put my olives, my little olive slices. It looks so pretty already. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll as tightly as I can so that it also, though, you don't want it to squish out the edges. So just roll like as tightly as you can without it squishing out the edges. Sometimes it can take 1 or 2 times to get it down. And of course, I think I added just a tiny bit too much to the end here. So I'm gonna seal this. I swear every time I do this, I have to do one first one and then it'll get better. All right, now I'm gonna slice the end off and then make my slices and put them in my container. And the good thing is when you're making these, you can sample the end piece and see how you did. So let's try the little end piece. So good. All right. So we're gonna put these in our container. Okay, we're gonna do one more and then I'll let you guys work on this when you sign off, okay? So these are so pretty. Look how pretty those are, you guys. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. Have you guys tried anything? It was fun. Okay, good. So next month, I think what we're going to do is maybe some smoothies because I've got a smoothie book coming out that I am rebranding and republishing. So yeah, you think you would like to do smoothies? You think maybe? I think smoothies are fun. We could do a couple. Okay, good. We'll do maybe a couple different types of smoothies. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. It was really fun to have you here. And I hope to see you next month. And then we'll work on doing some smoothies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, you guys. And send me pictures of your creations. Have your mom send me some pictures, okay? All right. Okay, bye.
Bye now. Bye, Nolan.